That brought the house down. People were howling.
Yeah.
And then I went into how I'm a Giant fan. I hate the Cowboys. I said Michael Irvin owes my bookie money. He laughed like crazy. The place went nuts, and they knew what they were getting.
You don't think, Artie, people in those kind of audiences, they laugh because they're supposed to laugh. You think they laugh because it was funny, or they laugh because they felt they had to laugh?
Chris, and how come they weren't laughing at anybody else? Nobody else was getting laughs except me. I had to save the fucking show.
Well,
they're not supposed to laugh.
How come when we contacted HBO today, Artie, and I did, how come they told me that we told Artie, direct quote, if the energy level is low, pick up the energy level. They didn't say go nuts. They said pick up the energy level. That's a big difference between going nuts.
Okay, you know what, Chris, let me tell you something about show business. Every once in a while, they bullshit you, and they're bullshitting you. Ross Greenberg said to me, you go nuts, you go crazy if they're boring. People bullshit in this business, Chris. I hate to break it to you. So in
other words, Ross Greenberg, now, he's going to allow, he wants you to go on that show, Artie, to bury Joe Buck. Because that's what you did. He wants you to go on here to bury Joe Buck.
No, let me tell you something, Chris. No, they wanted me on that show because I'm provocative and interesting and controversial. He knows exactly what I do. He knows I gamble on sports. He knows I have an edge to me, and he wants me to be the guy to play that role. Joe Buck comes off as this smug guy, and you know what? Joe Buck's a smart guy. I have the same. I do Conan O'Brien all the time. I do Letterman all the time. They have the same rapport with me. They play the smart guy. I say something obnoxious. They go back at me, and it's great. You know why? Because they're a million times funnier than Joe fucking Buck. So Joe has this attitude like, okay, I'm the smug guy, Artie's the construction worker, and I played the game, and because it's on HBO, I cursed. People guffawed laughing. They don't laugh. They laugh politely if they have to. People were barreled over laughter. Watch the fucking tape. Artie,
I'm a big fan. You were not funny. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of yours, Artie. I watched. You were not funny. That was not a funny set. That was not a funny 8 minutes.
I'll tell you what, Chris, I'm a big fan of yours about sports, but you don't know shit about being funny. When you're funny, it's funny when...
Artie, I'm not trying to be funny. You tried to be funny, and you weren't funny.
Exactly. I was trying to be funny, and I was funny. Howard Stern thought I was funny.
We all know.
I got texts from people I barely know. Jimmy Kimmel sent me a text saying that appearance was epic. It was the best thing I've ever seen. It was hilarious, and they're going to have you back. Every funny person I know thought I was funny. I don't give a fuck about anybody else. Chris, I love
Billy Crystal, Artie, Billy Crystal didn't think you're funny. And Billy Crystal's better than Jimmy. And Billy Crystal is bigger than Jimmy Kimmel. And Billy Crystal did not think you were funny.
Billy Crystal, let me tell you about Billy Crystal. Billy Crystal hates Howard because Howard busts his chops. Billy Crystal's funny, but he's an uptight prick. He's a politically correct, uptight bastard. He's an egomaniac. We've sent out Stutter and John to ask him questions. We play a tape. Oh, Howard's not funny. He says, I think Billy Crystal is unbelievably talented. Wait. Let me talk. I think Billy Crystal is unbelievably talented. His stand-up is unreal, but he's full of himself, and he's taking it too far. I'm a Yankee fan like him. Now he thinks he's Mr. Big Shot, Mr. Pretentious, Mr. I Meet the President, so I don't give a fuck what he thinks is funny. I give a fuck what my fans think are funny, and they thought it was funny, Chris.
Artie.
And I don't care if you think it's funny either, even though I'll listen to you talk about the Jet-Giant schedule and what the record's going to be, but don't tell me about being funny, and I won't tell you about...
Well, no, but Artie, you need a guy. You tell me about sports. You're allowed. I mean, I don't say, well, I don't know. What does Artie know about sports? I don't say that. So why should you say that about me about why I can't judge a comedian? What, you're allowed to judge your sports and I can't judge a comedian?
You're entitled to your opinion, but I don't respect your opinion about comedy. I tell you about sports, and a lot of times I'm wrong, and if you tell me I'm wrong, I'll believe it. Chris, I love you, man. You know I'm a huge fan of yours, but you're wrong about this. I was funny, and look at the audience. They guffaw.
You can't judge.
Michael, wait, Chris.
Oh, hold on now. Let me get this straight. Artie, let me get this straight. I'm not allowed to judge your comedic value, but Michael Irvin can. Is that the way it's supposed to work? I can't judge it, but if Michael Irvin laughs, you must be funny. Michael Irvin doesn't know anything.
Chris, you could judge whatever you want. and Michael Irvin to judge whatever
Fine.
you want. I don't give a fuck about it either way. I'm just saying one's right and what.
Well, I don't know. You brought up Michael Irvin 4 times and he thought it was funny. Well, why should Michael Irvin be able to judge you and I can't? That doesn't work.
I'll tell you why,
Michael Irvin's not a comedian. Well, why can he's a football player. A retired one at that.
I'll tell you why.
He's got no credibility with comedy.
Chris, you're going to let me talk? Or
yes, go ahead. You got to answer the question,
I'll
though.
tell you why. Because, Chris, I met Michael Irvin, and quite frankly, he's funnier than you are.